Welcome to the Dan Brook Show. I'm your host, Dan Brook. Coming at you live. Oh, shit. It's not even the Dan Brook Show anymore. It is the Day Life Jesus Show, alright? Let's get this completely fucking straight, man. A week ago, it was the Dan Brook Show. It's the Day Life Jesus Show. My name is Day Life Jesus. And welcome to the live. I'm going to be continuing a series that I'm doing on young Lean and Barron Machat, who I was intimately involved with between 2014 and 2016. Okay, before we start, this is brought to you by our one sponsor, Automat. Alright, wash it all. The links in order to wash are cash.me/$washitall, paypal.me/washitall. So, subsequently, wash it all. Get it done. Okay, so where I left off, the last time I saw Barron, before this, I had gone down. Well, I left off. I was getting to the point in the story where me and Barron had become fucking a business team, okay? Where he was gonna act as management and I was gonna act as his label. And the next step of this process was taking young Lean into that new fucking space. So, the next time I see Barron, we make the plan, alright? And I went and I visited him in LA. And we start talking about young Lean, and he says, okay, this time we're going to need $300,000 to do the next album right. All right, and the current distribution deal that he got was something like 10 grand. So this was like a major ramp up in expenses. And he's like, okay, it's actually looking a lot more like a label deal. So I say, okay, let's just do it on Breakworld, which was my record label at the time. And he's like, okay. But the important thing, so this was, okay, so just to give you a little bit of scope, this was my break. This was my big break. This was signing my big artist. There was me like, okay, in my head, I was like, all right, I'm about to be an international jet setter. I'm about to be doing the thing. I have a real artist, an artist who makes money, an artist who the fucking people are all about, the artist that is world renowned, tours the world, sells out venues in Moscow. Like it's just like a level that I had not been yet. So far on my label, I've been putting out projects by bands that really didn't do that much. They were kind of like indie. They were small. They were not on this level. So for me, I was already starting to fucking visualize what my life was going to look like. And what? In 2015, holy shit, that was a long time. I was 23 years old, bro. I was 23 years old in 2015. Alright? Wasn't even fucking 24. I was 23. Was I even fucking 23? Yes, I was 23. Whoa. That was insane. Did you see that? That was like fucking camera acrobatics, bro. And somehow it didn't fall. The computer, I'm not going to go all the way into it. Maybe I should go all the way into it. The computer started to slip. And not onto like the softness of a bed. It wasn't about to crash onto the floor or whatever. And then the camera, like the stand of it, like caught the camera, and then it flipped, and it was, why are you smiling? What's so funny?
That you're going so deep.
I had to, because when I said I'll ignore it, the camera flipped. Maybe I shouldn't have just... Maybe it's just telling me to treat my stuff better, which is absolutely fucking true. So, the last time I sat with Barron, we talked about Young Lean coming and doing a record with Breakworld. And like I said, in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm 23 years old. This is my big break. I'm about to be an international jet setter. I'm going to be the youngest person doing music business this way. I'm going to go on tour with Young Lean. I'm going to live this fucking glamorous ass life. And I was like, okay, everything is aligned in front of me. Everything's fucking aligned. Now, this is before I met Karina at the time, who became my long-term, girlfriend that we broke up like 8 times. But she was like my next serious relationship. So I wasn't even seeing anyone. I was like a single guy who was just like, alright, I'm about to fucking do the fucking thing. The guy? Let it ring. I'm about to fucking do the thing, alright? And this is really fucking exciting. I wasn't even that much older than Young Lean. I was between Barron and Young Lean. Barron was 27, alright? So he was a little bit younger than me right now, my age. I'm 28. But when I sat with Barron, now first of all, we started talking about Young Lean. We were talking about James Farrar records that we were going to put out, and then I went with him to a dispensary, and he got 2 caviar rolled blunts. If you don't know what a caviar rolled blunt is, neither did I, but it's a blunt that has fucking top shelf weed in it, and then they put hash in it, and then they sprinkle keef all in it. So it's basically a fucking high-powered fucking intoxicant. And I came to this meeting on fucking Vicodins that I had stolen from my parents' medicine cabinet. Alright, to give some fucking context. I was, at this time of this trip, I had a bunch of fucking Vicodin that I stole from my parents. That wisdom tooth or whatever, because I would go on these business trips to LA and then go and stay at my parents' house in Orange County, and it was like my way of visiting home. Anytime I visited home, I made it into a business trip. Literally any trip I took, I made it into a business trip, because at this time I was very ambitious, because I was chasing this dream. My whole life was leading up to this moment. I was chasing the fucking, I'm going to be the youngest who ever did it. I'm going to be the youngest A&R. I'm going to be the most successful A&R. I'm going to be renowned. And on top of that, I'm going to be a musician myself. And I have Earthly. And this was the year, 2015 was the year that my album came out. And it hadn't come out yet. So we went, and I had sent, actually, this is kind of important, I had sent demos of my album to Barron. And it was still called Bongle Star, alright? My project was Bongle Star. And he was the one who actually told me, don't call your fucking project Bongle Star. And I changed the name. And you know what? I have many regret, because I probably would have been fucking really big with a different audience if I had kept the name Bongle Star, but we changed it to Earthly, and Pitchfork loved it, or whatever, Medium liked it, and then we had a decent fucking, semblance of a career from there. Okay. So the meeting with Barron, I'm with him. We go to get the 2 caviar blunts. And I'm already on drugs. And at this time, I didn't know that Barron had a Xanax problem. I thought I was the one on fucking drugs at this meeting. So we're talking about Young Lean and James Farrar, and we smoked the first blunt. And when we smoked the first blunt, it gets me ridiculously high. And I tried to stop after like hitting it a few times. And Barron's the kind of guy who's like, no, you don't stop. Like, what, you trying to make me feel bad for like smoking weed? No, you keep smoking with me. It was like a fucking man test. And I was like, all right. And he's like, no, I just, you don't have to worry about being too high around me. You can get too high. And I was like, And he's like my fucking older brother, bro. And I'm like, all right. I kept smoking. And I was already too fucking high. And I already had fucking, a fucking Vicodin in my stomach. So I'm like cross-blazed. And fucking weed and pain pills don't really fucking mix. I don't know what they say in fucking rap music or whatever. It is not a pleasant experience. So I'm getting super fucking loaded. And just deeper and deeper into this, we're having these conversations. And Barron has a way of like getting you really comfortable and then like switching it to a fucking hard topic where it's like, I'm counting on red eye, he turns it business and you're like off guard because he got you really fucking high. And now you're like talking about business and he's the one who's able to fucking handle more weed, so he has the upper hand. I don't know if you know this about music business. Music business is all about who can handle substances better. Because if you get drunk faster than the person who's less drunk can run you in the meeting. If you abstain from drinking, you are considered a narc and you aren't to be trusted. Same with weed. If you can't smoke, if you don't hit... The smartest people who realize they can't do business while high on fucking marijuana do not smoke. But me, who's like a stoner, but like didn't like to mix that with my business, partook. And it always put me at this weird beta disadvantage. Now, if I just didn't partake, then... I would have had that advantage, but also it's always a test to see like, oh, can he smoke? Can he hang? Can he enter this alternate zone and still fucking do business? Now, this is a huge part of the music business. I can't understate. And I was the guy, every label conference at Red Eye. Every year we'd have a label conference where labels would come and visit us. And we'd have a big Christmas party and we'd have all the labels present what releases they were going to put out. And I would always get to hear all of the new bands and shit, like, and all the new albums, snippets from the albums way before they came out. And my job, as part of this fucking, as part of this label conference, was to buy enough weed to make sure everyone at the label conference had weed. And I would always do it out of my own pocket. I'd spend like a couple $100. I didn't get reimbursed by Red Eye or whatever. It was just assumed that I would go and provide everyone with weed and make sure everyone had weed and could smoke. And that's what my reputation at these label conferences became. Like the cool young A&R guy who could get California weed in North Carolina and give it to all these fucking California labels who are like jonesing because they're off of the fucking government-injected crypto weed or whatever the fuck. This was a big part of the music industry. How much drugs can you do? How much can you drink? How hard can you hang while on drinking drugs? Do you get confused by drinking drugs? Do you get confused by drinking drugs to where you can't do the thing any longer? Perhaps. Anyway. We smoked the first blunt. I'm getting too high. But when we start to leave the building, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go home. I'm going to drive home. Bad idea, but I was like, I'm going to do it anyway. And I start talking about my band. I start talking about Earthly. And I'm like, all right, well, so what's the deal with fucking Earthly? Like, what should I do? Like, what should I do about Earthly? Should I put them out on my own label? I got these offers from these other labels. I got this guy, fucking Nicholas Jar, who wants to put out my record. Do I put it out on his label, or do I put it out on my friend's label? Nicholas Jar wants to change the record, but then this other dude doesn't want to change the record. Which one do I pick? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, let's go smoke this other blunt and we'll talk about it. And I'm like, fuck. We gotta smoke another blunt? I'm already fucking blasted. What's your face look like? That? You disgusted by something?
No.
I saw a little disgusted lip curl.
I was stressing out about what my Twitter feed looked like because I reposted stuff. And I was like, did I do it in the right order?
Oh, wow. I was like, alright, let's smoke one more fucking blunt. Let's do it. I was fucking stressed out of my mind. I'm high out of my mind. I'm on too many drugs. During that conversation, the earthly stuff is barely important. He gave me advice that I ended up taking and it led to my success. But the earthly shit, yeah. But then he gave me advice. He started talking about Xanax, alright? And he was bringing it up very like, oh, someone who isn't me takes Xanax or whatever. And I was a fucking hypocrite because I was on prescription medication during this. And I made some crack about like, bro, I don't even fucking like Xanax. I don't need Xanax to keep from being stressed or whatever, bro. Xanax is for pussies is basically what I said. Paraphrase. I didn't say that exactly because I'm not about to just say Xanax is for pussies in this fucking, in the climate that I was in. And Barron gets all serious and he's like, look, man, whatever you need to take to get through the day, you go ahead and take that. And I didn't know that he, at this point, was fully addicted to Xanax. And he was managing this fucking super group, this fucking high-impact artist from Sweden, and he literally needed that shit to be able to deal with all of the fucking shit that goes into managing a band like that. And I had no fucking idea. And that hit me like, oh, shit. But I didn't think he was talking about myself. This is some fucking hindsight is 24/24 shit, bro. So in that meeting, that was his fucking sign, bro. If I was smart, what I would have said is, bro, I agree. I'm on a fucking Vicodin right now, and I just smoked 2 fucking blunts. And he may have been like, bro, I'm on fucking 2 Xans, bro. I'm on 2 football, or whatever. I'm on Xanax, and I was like, bro, we both got a drug problem. Let's talk about it. And that could have fucking avoided a lot of what was to come. But that's my fucking thing, bro. I'm a bad boy and I don't say the thing. I'm afraid to fucking say the thing. And it literally kills people. That fucking refusal to fucking open my mouth and say the thing I need to say at the exact time. My brainwashing says don't fucking say that. And my brainwashing actually says that it kills people to say the wrong thing. When I joined Temple, my parents were like, don't tell your grandparents about this. They're old and it might kill them. Guess what? The grandfather that I didn't tell that I'm doing this is dead now. The one I did tell I'm doing this is alive. And he's making it through. So yes, when I don't open my mouth, consequences, bro. Quincy-quences, bro. Real fucking world consequences. So I ended up leaving that meeting. I think I drove and I was supposed to go to my friend's house, my best friend's house, before I went back to North Carolina. And I was so fucked up by that meeting. I was so fucked up by being on so many fucking drugs. I like drove up to his house and was too anxious to walk in the door. Now this is like my best friend from high school. Like my best friend. I was too fucking freaked out to come over. I think I just texted him like some weird ass shit and then like left town. Which actually I've done a couple times with this friend. Like I just kind of like I don't say the thing I'm supposed to say and then I just bail. So bro, this part's a little bit about fucking Barron, bro. I fucked up in that moment. I didn't say the thing I was there to fucking say. And I never saw him again. That was it. Now, I talked to him maybe a couple times on the phone. We ended up doing, like, ironing out what the young lean deal would look like. We got it really close. And then on the night, I go back to Red Eye with this deal. And I'm going to tell you the rest of this story tomorrow or the next day. Because we're going to keep it flowing. But you got to fucking watch the whole thing. Every part's important. Cash.me/$washitall, bit.ly, not bit.ly, paypal.me/washitall. This has been the Day Life Jesus Show. I'm Day Life Jesus. I go live every day. Alright? Every day you can go and log on and watch me. I usually do about 20 minutes a day, sometimes more, sometimes a little less. You can't say you don't know me. In the last 4 months, I probably spent 2 days, at least, on live. I am the most transparent person on social media. You can go and you can see my life. And if you're not even satisfied with that, go on Instagram, Day Life Jesus, and watch all the ones I did over the summer. They're crazier, but you can see what I'm about. And it's crazy, because once you show who you are, people leave you, bro. Because I was the most guarded, mysterious motherfucker back in the Pain Matrix, and I had clout, and people were fucking trying to fucking get in. Once people can see you, they're scared, and they stay the fuck away. Because they're scared of what it would look like if they did it. Now, there's a few fucking human beings out there that feel empowered by that. And I'm talking to those people. I'm talking to you if you're one of those people. So catch me tomorrow and go on live. Follow me, Day Life Jesus, on Instagram, edanbrook on Twitter. And let's make fucking shit happen, bro. I'm excited. Alright. Talk soon. Bye.